Hey guys, what is going on? LBHT crew B, what is going on?
Not much, man. How you doing?
Man, I'm feeling great. You know, I always look. We do this show. Me and B work. We work all day. We always feel a little sluggish when we get off of work. But as soon as that beat drops, I am in the zone. I see people in here hyped up, man. I really like that's not fake talk, man. That's real talk. Like I get ready to talk some football. Yo, Attitude Pop, what's up? That's
Tony Hendo. What's going on,
is
man?
here.
We got
Graham Cracker. He said bolt up.
Bolt up.
Wait, is that our dad? Our dad's a Chargers fan. Hey, you know what? Welcome, Chargers. Hey, all fans are welcome here. All fans are welcome. Garnet West. I just heard Carolina just signed Darrell Revis about 5 minutes ago. Oh, we're gonna talk about that. Derek Wesley is in that house.
On,
he said, what's good, fam? Raven Ron. Yes. Jake T says, what's good? Yes, Andre Mears. He said, what's up, LBHT? Hey, Andre said he can't wait to get on about Pro Shade. Somebody else in the comments couldn't wait either. Eric L, what's up, man? Thanks for coming through.
Living legend. How you doing tonight?
Man, everybody's ready to go. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So, man, already 17, 18 people in here. They coming in fast. Hey, if there's anybody new in here, Abs, what's up, Abs? If there's anybody new in here, or if you're not new, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. We are live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We do this show every Wednesday night at 7:15. So if you're new, welcome. We like to talk a lot of football, mainly Ravens and Panthers. We also cover some other sports when we get a chance. So yeah, man, make sure you follow us. Also on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at LBHT Show.
Graham, he says a lot of money is hedging depending on what he hears about the Ravens versus Colts preview. You're going to want to stay tuned for later. Our guy Derek's going to be on again, giving you some advice on where to place that money.
Yes, Derek Wesley will be here for the Lunch Money Bets segment, and he will, in any questions you have concerning gambling or where to place your bets and all that stuff, you go ahead and ask him. And also, if you have any questions, because we failed to mention that when we first started, like if you're like me, you don't know much about gambling and you just have some questions. What's up, Suge? If you have any questions, Derek is the man to ask. So he'll answer all your questions. All right. So stay tuned for that. Yazar. What's up, Yazar? Thanks for coming through, Yazar.
What's going on, man?
Davon is in the house. He said he see the shirt. Oh, Davon sees it. He sees it. You like the I just got it in. That's like I gotta wear this. And if you guys like this shirt, you want something like that or something like what B's wearing, you can go to lbhtshow.com/shop. Get you one of those.
What's up, Apugo?
King of Pugo. Okay, yeah, they're ready. Okay,
updating the profile pic too. I see.
Yeah, I see that. Okay, yeah, I see the fresh cut in there. Okay. You guys are getting ready for the fall. All right. Okay, so we got to talk about the Stephon Gilmore move for the Panthers. We're going to talk.
That's right.
We're going to preview Panthers and Eagles game. We're also going to preview the Ravens and Colts game. Mm-hmm. And man, if we get time, maybe we'll get into some Wilder Fury Part 3. All right. But first, we like to start every show with a Black History fact. And B has got a Black History fact for you.
Yeah. So this is going to be a little bit of a story about something that happened in North Carolina in the early 60s, something that I didn't know until recently. There's a Air Force base in North Carolina, the Johnson Air Force Base near Goldsboro. And in January of 1961, they were part of a program called Operation Chrome Dome, which was to have B-52 bombers in the air constantly, 24/7, carrying atom bombs. Okay, because it was, it was during the Cold War, and they just want to be ready, right? So one day in January, one of those bombers was flying around, and they started leaking fuel, and they were told to come back. On their way back, this was a plane that had been updated by Boeing. Boeing manufactured it. The update was having some problems. They were scheduled for a refit, but the wing of the B-52 tore off just came off mid-flight. So they were on their way back to the runway. They started veering left towards a little town, and they gave the captain gave the order to abandon ship, basically to evacuate.
Right.
There were 8 people on board. One of them was Adam Maddox, a 27-year-old African American jet fighter pilot, which was pretty rare in those days. He didn't have he wasn't in the cockpit at the time. He was assigned to like a jump seat in the cockpit. And so they're starting to go down. Everybody else is in their ejection seats. They're gone. And he's like, I gotta jump.
Right.
And he said he's putting it in God's hands, basically. So he kind of threw himself out of the cockpit. He pulled the cord on his parachute, and it didn't open up. And he's like, okay, well, if this is how I go, this is how I go. And then, a couple seconds later, as he started to pick up speed, the parachute inflated, and he's like, thank God, right? So he's kind of drifting down, and then the plane explodes near him, right? And that kind of collapsed his parachute again. So he's falling again. He said, man, this is how I go. This is how I go, right? And he's falling, and a gust of wind kind of, reinflated the chute again. So he's like, thank God. And then
this is like you can't even script this in a movie, man.
He looks down, and he's drifting right into the wreckage of the plane. So he says, if this is how I go, this is how I go. Another gust of wind comes, it blows him off to the side, and he lands safely in a field. He's like, thank God. And then he makes his way to a little farmhouse, and gets a ride back to the base to let him know what happened, because there were 2 atomic bombs on that plane.
Right.
He gets there, and he's a black man in 1961 in North Carolina. He's got the parachute kind of bundled up, and he's
screaming bomb.
And he's got it bundled up. He's at the gate trying to get in, trying to let him know what happened, and he's promptly arrested. So, long story short, he actually is the first. Was the first person to bail out of a B-52 cockpit and survive, without an ejection seat. Thankfully, obviously, those atom bombs didn't go off. They were able to recover them, kind of put out all the flames and everything. So, a couple of the crew died, but for the most part, most of the crew survived. The towns were fine. But Adam, it was just a rather interesting story that I heard there. There is a book about it. About that whole incident. It gives a lot more detail with the B-52, with the base and the operation and everything. It's called Goldsboro Broken Arrows. And no, it's Mattox. But yeah, so it's Goldsboro Broken Arrow if you wanted to learn a little bit more about that.
All right, man. That's a story. Chernobyl, the story of Chernobyl got a mini series on HBO. That was pretty that was really good. Yeah. I think this man deserves a story as well.
I think so as well.
That was an amazing story, man. Like I love these stories, man. I don't always know what he's gonna tell us when he gets on the air, man. And thanks for hanging out with us, Graham Cracker, man. We love seeing new faces in here for sure. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Attitude Pop, man. Attitude Pop come in here ready to go. First of all, Noah Driscoll, man, thanks for coming through. He said he's got allergies. Allergies are killing him right now. I feel your pain, man. Like at the very beginning, it usually hits me in spring. The very beginning of spring is when it's unbearable for me. But use a neti pot. Neti pot really helps me out. So I would suggest that. Attitude Pop says, how is Josh Allen in 3rd place for MVP, which he ain't done nothing this season? I mean, like I didn't see his stat line the last couple of games, but I know he's been. I mean, they've been killing these teams, man. They just beat Houston 40-0,
demolishing people.
I don't like I said. I don't know his stat line. I'm assuming he's playing well. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know, but MVP. It's just too early to talk about anybody for MVP.
There ain't no MVP rankings right now.
Right, like I wouldn't get upset about that. Okay, and I see you posted that link. I'm trying to pin it.
What's up, Baja? You change your name every week?
Okay, let me pin this link. Okay, guys, this link that I'm pinning right now, that is for our Streamlabs. So me and B don't do super chat. If you're looking for a super chat, you want to donate to the show, there are 2 ways. Right above B, that's our Cash App, $ LBHT Show. All right, you just leave a donation, leave your comment, we'll read it on air. And also that pin, that pin link, that's for our Streamlabs. You just click on that, same thing. Just leave a donation, leave a comment, and we'll read it on air. And Omar B is in the house. What's up?
Yeah,
Lamar's on pace. That's Baja.
Yeah, I just put it up on the screen, man. I
was pinning the link. I didn't see. What's up, man? Yes, Lamar's on pace for 4,500 yards, and 1,000 rushing. I don't like that part of it though. But okay, look, we're gonna get into that. But first,
King of Pooh goes on it. Injury status on Stephon Gilmore. So if you don't know, the New England Patriots were unable to come to agreeable terms with Stephon Gilmore, who's been on the PUP list. So they announced that they were going to release him. And so obviously teams started calling, and the story was out there that Green Bay is where he wanted to play. Devontae Adams was kind of recruiting him to the Packers. A lot of Ravens fans were saying, hey, man, go get Stephon Gilmore. And then out of nowhere, the Carolina Panthers traded a 6th-round pick for Stephon Gilmore to add him to their secondary. He is on the PUP list right now, so he can't play until week 7 against the Giants, but they say he's on track to make his debut in that one.
Yeah. You and I were kind of, we were kind of lukewarm. I won't say lukewarm, but like CJ Henderson, we're kind of like, okay, we kind of wait and see how this goes because potential's there. He was a high draft pick last year. Mm-hmm. Didn't have a good year, but nobody
only played 8 games.
Only played 8 games and Jacksonville. So yes, there's some potential there, but you weren't we weren't that excited. But Stephon Gilmore, what you can get from him.
Yeah. All right. I was already saying in our Discord, once they get healthy, and they've got Stephon Gilmore, they got J.C. Horn, they got Dante Jackson, they got A.J. Bouye, they got C.J. Henderson, they got Jeremy Chin. I've always said that Baltimore has the best secondary in the league, but once Carolina gets healthy, that ain't the case no more.
It's not looking like it. And I gotta give Fitterer some credit here, man, like for being aggressive and saying, hey, we want to show up that side of the ball. Now, me and B feel like, if you have your quarterback, you always build around him. Like O-line is still a major concern for this team. And I think if they can get that fixed, you can win with it. Looks like you can win with Darnold. Darnold's doing well, but you got to keep him upright. Yeah. But they decided, hey, we're going to be aggressive on this defensive side, and I can't fault them for going after somebody like Gilmore. It's not costing them anything right now. Now, if they want to hold on to him, it's going to, they're going to have to pay. And that brings up the other question with Dante Jackson. What are they going to do with Dante Jackson? Because Dante Jackson he's in a contract year.
What's up, tough puppy? So they said that they're not going to extend Stephon Gilmore right now. They want to see, wait and see how he plays, how he looks coming back from that injury. If he comes back and he plays well, which is, kind of what people expect, obviously, I think that's going to be the end for Dante Jackson in Carolina. Unfortunately, they'll have to pay Stephon Gilmore quite a bit, right?
Yes.
Now the other guys are on rookie deals, and CJ Henderson, Jeremy Chin, JC Horn, they're all on rookie deals. So it would be feasible, but I think that Dante Jackson is probably going to want to go somewhere where he can be a top corner, the 1 or 2 corner and get paid. He's not going to be the number 1 or number 2 corner in Carolina once JC Horn is back.
It's early, right? But yes, if CJ Henderson does work out, they're like, oh, he's pretty good, they're definitely going to let Dante Jackson walk, right? You'll go with if Gilmore's healthy and Henderson is looking good, and those are 2 big ifs right now, right? But if it turns out that way, look, they have options basically, is what I'm saying. They have options to make sure that secondary is looking really good, and Jeremy Chin is playing well as well. So they're putting it all together, man. I cannot fault them for that. I'm a defense guy, even though I am a defensive guy. I love defense. But when you can get a player like Gilmore, especially for nothing, it doesn't impede your search for O-line. And there's a rumor out there that they're looking to trade for some O-linemen. Good luck with that. But at least they're trying. Yeah.
There's making the point here that they're not under contract for 2022 and they need O-line help. It's true, but unlike the CJ Henderson trade, where you're kind of trading that 3rd-round pick for potential
6th-round pick,
you're giving up a 6th-round pick for a guy that is an elite player, So I don't have any problem with them doing that deal, and I don't have any problem with them extending Stephon Gilmore.
Yeah.
I do think that'll be the end for Dante Jackson.
What's up, Quan? You're here right on time. That's exactly what we're talking about right now. We're talking about Gilmore.
And I am loving it. I think it was a fantastic move. I like when teams are aggressive in trying to get better, and that's exactly what Carolina's been doing. So yeah, I'm a big fan of that trade.
Listen, man, listen. It's the same thing for Baltimore. Like, I think we desperately need to focus on O-line. But if Jalen Ramsey becomes available for a 6th round pick, okay. There's nothing to be mad about there. So,
right.
like, yeah, that's, I mean,
you don't worry about the money. You got to pay for talent.
Absolutely.
It is what it is, right?
Absolutely. So
yeah, we can talk a little bit about the game this past week, and then the upcoming game against Philly. Carolina the defense got embarrassed a bit this past week against Dallas. Dallas ran for over 200 yards. They kind of moved the ball at will, especially in the second half. Dak Prescott threw 4 touchdowns. I think that's probably something to do with this trade happening today as well. But it was their first big test. They didn't pass it, but again, it's a really young defense. It's a very talented defense, and I think they'll bounce back just fine. Offensively, they looked all right initially early on in the game, and then the wheels kind of came off in the third quarter. They weren't really able to protect Sam. He made a couple of some bad decisions. He threw a couple of interceptions. But what I do like about Sam and the offense in general is that they do seem to bounce back. Like they don't kind of fold, right? Like, they ran into some issues the week before when McCaffrey got hurt, and it kind of went off the rails then as well. But they fought back in that game as well and got themselves back on track. They did that against the Cowboys. They were able to score a couple of touchdowns and make it, make the score closer than the game actually was. So, that's encouraging. Moving forward with the Eagles, like the Eagles are a little bit difficult to figure out. Jalen Hurts has been playing much better than I expected, for sure. But it's kind of weird because I don't think they're really threatening to beat any of these teams on their schedule, any of the better teams, but they are playing close. So this is the kind of team for Carolina that they should beat and beat pretty handily. That doesn't mean like a blowout, but I think that this is a game that Carolina should control from start to finish.
I don't know how to feel about the Eagles, right? Because they're clearly playing. They're tougher than we thought they would be. We thought they would just be what the Jets are, right? And they're not that. And shout out to E. What's up, Just Allo? What's up, Just Allo? And shout out to E. I saw you in here, man. Thanks for coming through. There you go. Oh, go ahead, click on it. Yeah, he said, "What's up, my Africans?" Africans. Thanks for coming through, man. But Jalen Hurts he's doing all right, man. Yeah. Like he's doing better than we thought he would do, and I'm rooting for Jalen Hurts, man. That's another player that I want to be wrong about. Look, when you guys calling us haters when we say something about a player. Look, we just telling you how we feel. That doesn't mean that we want them to not succeed. And we'll discuss more of that too, because there's somebody that's been trolling our comments, calling us haters on somebody. We'll discuss that later as well, because he feels a certain way about it. Let's see. Who was talking slick about Lamar? Who are you talking about?
What?
I'm looking at the comments. ABC Def is diming out somebody.
Okay. So, but yeah, to move on to the Baltimore game against the Broncos.
You want to do? Week. Okay. Well, hold on. Well, you didn't even give
I didn't give a score. Okay, so score prediction for the Panthers and Eagles. I think the defense bounces back. I think they give up 10, and I think Carolina wins. I think you know what? I said it wouldn't be a blowout, but I'm going to give them. I'm going to say 27-10.
27-10.
Yeah, all right, I think the defense bounces back in a big way.
All right, put your score predictions in there. 27-10. Yeah, because I'm trying to think. after coming off, yes, a loss to the Cowboys, who just had, I mean, they have an amazing offense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing offense. And yeah, it got away from them at the end, but I think they did a pretty solid job in the first half. The second half, they, that's when they got sloppy. They'll tighten that up. And I just don't think Philly has anything for them that they haven't seen already. So yeah, I'm gonna say I'm gonna go 28-10. 28-10. Right. They're not gonna be, it's not gonna be field goals. It's gonna be 4 straight touchdowns. I might even say 35-10.
Philly getting rolled over weekly.
You know what? I'm changing to 35-10. It's 35-10.
Andre, 24-16 Carolina.
Okay.
24-10 Carolina wins. We got 2017 from Derek.
Okay.
1917 Henda. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
He said Philly's fighting. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Look.
RTV, how you doing? Eagles 20. Oh, come on, man.
Hey,
All
you know what? Listen,
right.
A win is a win is a win. So
he's got the Eagles winning 28-24.
Yeah. Why you hating?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, look, man, that's your prediction.
27-20
27-20. Felipe says 27-10.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Those are predictions, man. Yeah, this is not a lot to I can say about the Eagles right now. I mean, look, they are playing tough. But I just don't see how
they're a hodgepodge of heart. Like, there's not really any kind of elite talent. I mean, they got the Devontae Smith out there, and obviously they have some good players. I'm not saying they don't have any, but the roster looks like one of the worst in the league if you just look at it. And
wait, Graham says
in there.
Graham says Eagles win with Darnold reveals himself. What's the score though, Graham?
To his true self. Okay.
What's the score though? Give us a score. Tough Puppy says Bulls will in the finals. We'll start talking about some NBA pretty soon. We're gonna talk more NBA. Look, if you guys subscribe to the channel, you see, if you go to our homepage, you see how we have it sectioned off. Right, it's Ravens. Look at my face. Sorry, Ravens, Panthers, UFC, boxing, NBA. Right, so you're gonna start seeing more videos in those other categories. Starting to put out some more shorts so we can give you a little bit of everything. Yeah. All right. Hold on 1 second, B. I need to kill this bug.
Rude. Okay, so to go on to the Ravens, they had a big win over Denver this past week. Denver came in 3-0. It was kind of like almost like Carolina. Looked at as a nice test for Baltimore after their defense hadn't really played well the first 3 weeks, and their offensive line had been kind of bad as well. They haven't really been able to protect Lamar. They went out and they had a good all-around game against Denver. There was some issues that cropped up early. They gave up the first touchdown, but the defense especially really tightened up the rest of the game. They held Denver to 7 points. They did knock out Teddy Bridgewater at one point with a concussion. That was Owe. But even before then, Denver didn't really look like they were going to be going anywhere in that game. It didn't look like they were going to really be testing Baltimore. They did have some injuries on the O-line. They did, they were missing KJ Hamler. They're missing Jerry Jeudy. They missed both starting guards, a few other players. But obviously, we all know that Baltimore has a lot of injuries as well. They really came out and controlled the game on defense, and they got contributions from everybody on offense. Right, Hollywood, came back with that nice diving touchdown. Sammy Watkins, Prochet, Duvernay, they all had nice games. They made contributions to the win. So it was a good all-around game, and I think it was a game that Baltimore needed, a performance that Baltimore needed to kind of get themselves on track, right? Because they've been a top defense for the past 3 years, and it hasn't really looked that way the first 3 weeks. But it did on Sunday against Denver.
Well, not just not just that, but for their sake, so they know they can pass the ball, right? Because that's a criticism I've had of Greg Roman in the past is, he gets away from what they do way too often, and we just didn't have the personnel to pass the ball in the past, or like we didn't look like we even practice these passing plays. Like they just look like they didn't know what they're doing out there. But they were way more on point this game around. I'll give them credit for that. I'm not going to give them too much credit because I think it's just a matter of we have more talent. But I give him credit. The receivers were getting wide open, and he didn't hesitate to throw the ball. Always slapped the bejesus out of Teddy. Yeah, man. Yeah,
it's not nice.
Yeah, Owe had a sack, and Bowser had what, 2 sacks?
He had 2 sacks. Yeah, Justin Houston had a sack as well.
Yeah. Justin Houston, living legend. All right, we got the man. Look, we got to get a little sack tracker for Justin Houston because is that him?
Wow. Okay. I'm here saying
I'm here.
Jose trying to disappear. Come here, man. Y'all said Prochet wasn't going to be much of anything, right? Let's talk about it.
Okay.
let me ask you something. I'm going to ask him this before we get into it. Andre, what do you think about Brandon Zylstra? He's the Panthers wide receiver, Brandon Zylstra. What do you think about him?
They don't know who that is.
They have to know who it is.
Why?
They have to. Why? I'll tell you why. Because he's got more yards than James Prochet, and apparently Prochet is a superstar right now. No, look, Prochet had a nice game, right? He ended up 5 catches for 74 yards, I believe. So obviously, the biggest game of his career. So props to Prochet. He had a nice week.
Mm-hmm.
That puts him at about 103 for the season.
Yes. Yeah. Look, it's funny how y'all take what we say and be like, "Yo, we're hating," because
well, you had to add the last part though, Tough.
Wow, man. Sheesh.
Why?
Not bad for a white guy is what he said. My goodness. But no, my thing is, like, when we say something, if we don't shower the person with praise, we're hating. I looked at the video that I put out, man, and we said, hey, he did well. Mm-hmm. But we asked the question. I'm gonna ask you guys, look, with Boykin coming off of injury reserve, with Bateman coming off of injury reserve, right? That's 2 wide receivers. Where's that lead Prochet? Is he, because we speculated, is he going to be deactivated, right? Mm-hmm. Is he going to be deactivated? And that's a solid question. And if you don't think he's going to be deactivated, who is going to be? Somebody has to be deactivated, right? That's too many players. So somebody has to come off. And, how many wide receivers are we going to carry? 6? You know what I'm saying? So like it's a fair question. It's a fair question. So yes, I'm happy for Prochet, but he doesn't block as well as Boykin. He doesn't do special teams as well as Duvernay. So what's his role? What's his role on the team? Right? Like what he did last game is fine. Wasn't needed. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't needed, and this isn't us. Again, it isn't us crapping on Prochet, and I'm gonna call him out because I don't like how he's been in our comments, man. He's another YouTuber, DT Viz, man. Don't do that, bro. don't do that, man. Like we can have a disagreement, man, but like you going too far with it, man. Like you getting way too emotional about Prochet. And I hope you watch this. I'm hoping you're here. He said he's gonna be in here every week telling us how wrong we are on Prochet and Owe. He obviously hasn't been watching the show because we already said we were wrong on Owe.
Well, he hasn't been watching the show because he was ghost the first 3 weeks when Prochet had 1 catch.
Oh yeah. That's another thing.
I didn't hear nothing from DT.
That's
not a thing.
Not just DT, like a bunch of y'all, because I actually brought up Prochet.
Well, not a bunch of, because they're not trying to go in like DT is. Right. He's acting like, he's holding us accountable or something. Like, no, man. Yeah. Like, where were you weeks 1, 2, and 3? You were nowhere. Right.
He calling us haters every 2 seconds, man. Like, don't do that, bro. Don't do that. You don't know us, and you clearly don't watch this show. All right. Like, I root for everybody. If you on this roster, I'm rooting for you. But you acting like Prochet is this secret weapon that they're waiting to unleash. And yeah, where were you the first 3 weeks? Like, I didn't hear a peep from you, and now all of a sudden you swear we hating and we can't admit when we're wrong about Prochet. All right, so you haven't been watching the show, you know what I'm saying? And if Prochet does get deactivated, or even if he is active, I mean, what do you expect from Prochet next week with Bateman back and Boykin? Because Boykin is going to play if he's healthy, right? So what do you expect from Prochet? Are you expecting a 100-yard game? Another 70-yard game? Like tell us. Like put a number to it. And anybody that believes in Prochet, what are your expectations of Prochet? And that's not me, calling you out. I'm just curious. Like, what do you expect when you have a bunch of talent on a team, whether you think a player can play or not? What is your expectation of that person? Because he's clearly not the top wide receiver or second or third, right? So realistically, what's he going to do on the team?
Zeke?
What's up, Zeke? Man, how you doing? Thanks for coming through. So yeah. So I'm calling out DT because he's another YouTuber, man. I just didn't like what he's the comments he's been leaving in our videos. But that applies to anybody out there, man. He ain't the only one. I'm not sure. It might be his burner account, but what's the other dude? Darren B. He was calling us haters too, right? And when we asked him who are we hating on, he said everyone. So I don't know. I guess I'm not a Ravens fan. I don't know.
Kings, and who does Boykin play over? Why is that question never asked? He would be playing over Prochet like he did last year.
Yeah,
is the way that I look at it, because and I saw your other comment about Ravens fans overrating blocking. It's not. I don't think it's that Ravens fans overrate blocking. I think it's that the Ravens coaching staff overrates blocking.
Yes.
That's why they paid Nick.
You guys see this bug attacking me? Like see this?
No, that's why they paid Boyle. That's why. Honestly, why Miles is still there, right? He's been the starting receiver the last 2 years. So when I say that I think that Prochet is going to be inactive, it's not because he's a worse receiver than Miles Boykin. Although I will say, y'all are always talking about giving Prochet a chance, and he just needs an opportunity. But you're unwilling apparently to give Miles a chance to show what he can do this year, because he hasn't been out there this year.
Right.
Maybe he put in that same work that Prochet did. Right, so we'll see.
Yeah, Prochet ain't a rookie, guys.
But what I was saying is that Prochet doesn't have the punt return job at this point, right? He doesn't play a lot of snaps as it is on offense. And if you come back and you add Rashad Bateman into that picture, and if they activate Miles Boykin as well, I don't see what the reason is that you would have Prochet active.
Yeah, and that's how we're looking at it, right? They obviously want to keep Boykin on the roster. They value him for something, right? Whether they think he can have a breakout year, or they just say, hey, man, we just know he's a better blocker. Like, they value him, and he's been starting for the last 2 years. Like,
yeah, what do you mean, what about the last 2 years? That's why I said he's the starter for the last 2 years. Prochet was on the team last year. He couldn't get on the field. So that's what I'm saying. And everybody this year was saying, give him a chance, give him a chance, give him a chance. So I'm saying you don't want to give Boykin that same chance to say, hey, maybe he put in that work over this offseason the same way Prochet did.
Yeah, because that's my thing. Like, Prochet didn't get on the field at all last year. And yes, he obviously put in the work this offseason. And despite how you guys, think, I feel like I'm happy for him, man. I love to see these guys be able to elevate their game. Excuse me. But, the fact is, they went out and got 3 more wide receivers this offseason. 3 more wide receivers this offseason. So if they had that much faith in Prochet, why did they get that many more wide receivers? And 2 of them were out and they're coming back. Like, you guys are dogging Boykin. I'm telling you, they don't feel the same way that you guys feel about Boykin.
What's up, Elio?
Elio, what's going on, man?
Mar and Boykin didn't have great chemistry. I hope that changes. Yeah. That is true. I don't think that he had much trust in Boykin. Certainly not as much as the coaching staff did, apparently. But yeah, hopefully that changes.
I mean, I honestly, like, at the end of the day,
there ain't no hype around Boykin. Don't nobody like Boykin.
Nobody.
Nobody.
and we're not even that big on Boykin.
No, I said that he should have just got rid of Boykin. I don't think Boykin can play, but it is.
Yeah, but I mean, we're just looking at the facts, man. Like, he's been starting the last 2 years, and I mean, he didn't get beat out for his job. He was just hurt, right? And yes, we assume Bateman is gonna play over him. Obviously, Sammy Watkins, we think will continue to play over him in Hollywood. Yes,
and probably Duvernay at this point.
Maybe
at least to start out.
But I don't know. That's the thing, because they want to run the ball, and Boykin is the best blocker on the team at wide receiver. He's the best one, and I've heard Harbaugh say that in the past when people were questioning his play. He's like, look, he's doing exactly what we want him to do. And that tells me they're not worried about him catching a lot of passes. They want him to go out there and block. So as long as he has that, he's got a leg up on Duvernay and Prochet in my book.
And Bro Comey Kwan, and this is what I wanted to point out to people who say there's no chance that Prochet gets deactivated. He says, not defending Prochet, but the Ravens coaches don't always put out the best players, i.e. Tyson Williams being deactivated. Yep. Tyson Williams is the best running back on the team right now, and he was inactive. So yeah, Prochet had a nice day, and they could absolutely turn around and look at him and say, no, thanks. They did that every week last year with Miles Boykin as a starting wide receiver. So, I mean, I'm not saying that they don't like Prochet, but I do think that the Ravens coaches at times play favorites, and it seems that Miles is one of their favorites.
Every coaching staff does that. Coaching staff does that, man. All we're saying is, like, if we have an opinion on a player, especially somebody that's not even a starter, don't get too emotional about it.
No, he has never had a 70-yard game. He has scored touchdowns, though.
Yeah, right. I think he's gotten close to it, but that's a real random stat. Nobody says, "Oh, he's never had a 70-yard game before." You say that because Prochet got 70 yards, right? 100 yards is what you're talking about, and neither has Prochet.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, up until this week, he'd never had a multi-catch game.
Yeah, so there you go.
Kind of, but we'll see.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, we got off track though. But Ravens versus Colts, I don't even know what to say about the Colts, man. It's kind of like with the Eagles, but a little less because I don't think Carson Wentz is.
Carson's been fine this year. He's been banged up, but he's been playing well. I think the Colts are one of those teams where they're just like in boxing, you have those guys who aren't quite journeymen, but they're not top tier fighters, right? They're not championship level fighters, and they're the guys that the up and coming prospects always beat before they get a title shot. I think the Colts are kind of like that. They're a talented enough team, they're decent, and they can beat bad teams, and they can't beat really good teams. So for this week, I kind of expect
a competitive game.
I kind of expect Baltimore to run away with it.
I do too, because the defense, I know that they had a solid defense last year. I'm not sure how they perform up till now. I honestly haven't been paying too much attention to the Colts in particular. But look, Wentz he's solid, man. He just, I'm so disappointed in Wentz, man. I used to be a huge Wentz fan, man, and he just fell off the rails. But Jonathan Taylor's the real deal, He said, my boy Tyler Wallace needs some love. Yeah. No.
He's getting plenty of love on special teams, man.
He's a project, man. Maybe he'll turn into something later on, but no, he's not in the discussion right now. The defense was a real deal last year, man. So that could be a little bit of a problem. But I'm with B. I think that's going to be another blowout.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate you coming through. So score prediction, and it's at home for us too. That's a home game for us. No. I might do a similar score, 35-10. 35-10.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. I was thinking 38-17, somewhere in there. I think they're gonna blow them out, man. I don't think it's gonna be close. I really don't. I think Baltimore is kind of riding high, with their confidence. And they're getting a couple guys back. I think it's going to be a sprint right from the beginning, and it's going to be all Baltimore.
And to remind you guys, you guys think we're hating, like that Kansas City game is the only game I've ever picked them to lose, right? And obviously they won. And I told B off air, I could see a 10-game win streak, not including the games we just won. I'm talking about 10 more. I'm talking about 10 more. I looked at the schedule. I was like, man, we can run off 10 wins. We can do it. Yeah. I mean, obviously there could be some cases we drop, but I'm looking at the schedule. I'm like, none of these teams. I'm afraid.
I'm already excited for that Chargers game. That's going to be a really tough game. Justin Herbert, former Duck, Herbert is outstanding. Really.
Yeah.
They got Mike Williams. They got Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler. I think a very underrated back. And they got a lot of talent on defense too. So I think that's going to be a really fun one to watch. Not so much the Colts, I don't think.
Yeah, look, the Chargers have all the talent, man. They do. Yeah. And I'm not saying we're going to run away with that game.
I think they got a good coach. I think
but
they do.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, they do. They do. I'm not saying we're going to run away with the game. I'm just saying, man, like, we got a good team too. I feel good. Look, when I know we have a good team, I'm not afraid to play other good teams. You know what I'm saying? So like that's fine. Like bring them on. Now if we go out,
it'll be lower scoring for the Colts, not for Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean, we're built for bad weather games. Like that doesn't. Yeah, I mean, we'll run it down their throats, you know. And they're not gonna sell out for the run like Denver did. Again, I don't think you'll see too many more teams try to do that. All right, and that's why we needed to have that game. We needed to have that. We needed to show that one, we can still run. We can still run for 100 yards, even when you try to stop us.
I knew this. I don't know why I didn't think about it. It is a Monday night game. Thank you, King.
Yes, yeah, Monday. Yeah, thank you, King of Pugo. And one, even if you try to stop us, we're still gonna run for 100 yards, even if it takes the last 3 seconds of the game. And two,
you saw the clip of Denver last year throwing the ball on the last play of the game. Do you see that?
No,
it's weird. I'm pretty sure this dude Vic Fangio was coaching them, and he was like, "Yeah, man, air it out." And then this other guy is coaching them now, Vic Fangio, and he was up there. He was up there shedding some tears because Baltimore ran a QB sweep to pick up a couple yards to keep a record going. As far as I know, Denver wasn't going for anything last year. They're just dicks.
Yes. I tried to defend him a little bit too. Remember, I said, well, look, he's just emotional after the game, and nobody likes losing, right? Like he'll cool off later on. But no, he came back and he doubled down. I was like, oh, okay, all right, you really are salty about this, you know. And now I feel like we should have ran for a touchdown because they weren't trying to get a touchdown. They were just trying to get a few yards and then go out. I was like, man, you should just catch them off guard and run that puppy for a touchdown. Let them know. Yeah, man, like that.
We got a anonymous Cash App here. It says, I think Mr. Jackson is getting tired of Harbaugh.
Yes, yeah. I appreciate that. Well, I appreciate the Cash App. I don't know if he's tired of Harbaugh. I know we're tired of Harbaugh, but I don't think he's tired of. I think they have a really good relationship.
I think so. I think that Harbaugh. The one thing that I do love about Harbaugh, and again, we talk about him being gone and thinking they need to move on from the coaching staff. He is a good coach.
Yes.
I just think he's wrong for Baltimore. But the one thing that I do love about Harbaugh is he is all about supporting his players.
Yeah,
until somebody looks at him the wrong way and he puts him in a doghouse. But at least publicly, he is all about supporting his players, and him and Lamar do seem to be really close and have a really really tight relationship. I mean that's always fun to see. It is.
Yeah. Okay, and what's up, Jay? Jay say he's finally here. Appreciate you coming through, man. Okay, are we ready for our guests?
What's up? Yeah, let me send the link real quick.
Okay,
so
okay.
We are not ready.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. So I saw at Tupac says 45-17 Ravens. I saw some more scores in here. I saw some blowouts, man. I saw some blowouts in here.
Yeah.
38-10 King of Pugo. Living Legend says 38-20. Jake P says 45-0. Petty Harbaugh will rise again. Okay, Jake P.
I like that.
Yeah.
Look, I'm too scared to predict a shutout in the NFL today, but I like that.
Yeah. Andre Mears says 40-13. Tony Hendo says 42-17. Okay. All right. Blowout city. Now, we predicted a blowout last week, and somebody, a Broncos fan, said we were on crack. Somebody asked him how he was doing. He didn't respond back, so I'm just,
not well, apparently.
Look. Okay, you don't have to like our score. First of all, I'm a Ravens fan. This is a half Ravens channel, so we're obviously going to be a little biased when it comes to that. But if you don't like it, man, one, you don't have to watch. Two, man, like you can say what you want to say. We didn't say nothing. We said, all right, maybe we're wrong. Maybe they beat us. It didn't go down that way, though. It didn't go down that way. Right. And eat some humble pie, okay? Eat some humble pie. Don't run away. All right.
Ilio asking, don't know if we ever talked about it. What are our thoughts on Patrick Queen? He needs to learn to wrap up.
We did not talk about Patrick Queen. Again, we're not as hard on Patrick Queen as some of you guys are, man. Like some of you guys want him out of here. I know Tony Hendo wants him gone. I know Tony Hendo thinks there's no hope for him. I don't think he's a lost cause. Yeah, he just needs to play better, man. I think
it's
so
funny watching fans because like I know Tony, he wants him gone, but he's preaching praise and patience for James Prochet. Like it's just funny. Like
well,
extend some of that grace over to Patrick, right?
Tony said no.
No, I think that given some time, Patrick Queen will be fine. Right now, he needs to work on the fundamentals. I mean, he's got a missed tackle percentage over 16% last year and this year. So because some people were talking about Jalen Smith and how he's a better tackler. Maybe Baltimore should go after him. I was like, that's not true, is it? Like he just lost his job and he got cut. He's only missed one tackle. Now the problem with Jalen is he's not usually in position to make a tackle, but when he is there, he doesn't miss them.
Because will we have a conversation about last week about coverage linebackers, and guess what they say about him in Dallas? He can't cover.
Yeah.
Right. He can't cover. And Caleb, if he's in here, he'll tell you all about it.
Right.
And he's not sideline to sideline.
But
linebacker anymore.
If you run right at him, he will not miss that tackle.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, so we're gonna bring on our guy Derek, and we're gonna talk some lunch money bets.
Yes. If you guys have any questions for Derek, gambling, any questions about gambling, any questions? I know Graham Cracker has some questions, man. I know you're waiting for this, so go ahead and ask our man Derek. Derek, how you doing, man?
I'm doing tonight, fellas. How's everybody else doing?
They're ready, man. They're hungry. They need redemption from last week, man. How we do?
Well, it wasn't a good one. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay, all right.
But we're gonna come back this week and try and do it better and stronger. That's all right. You can try and do.
That's right.
So yeah, first up, I'll go ahead and open with the Carolina and Philly game. Like I dropped in the chat, I think this game will end up being on the closer, lower scoring end side of things. Yes, Carolina is 3-1 against the spread, but I see it being more a field goal game coming down to. I don't see TDs happening. I see teams driving down the field and things getting clogged up and settling for field goals. And so I think that 3.5 will come into play. It opened at 4. I hadn't seen much movement going on with it so far. So that will be something to watch if you think the number will go a little bit lower. But yeah, so I'm going to be on the plus 3.5 with Philly, though I do believe Carolina will win that game. And if you do recall, I was on the money when I made this similar play with Carolina against the Jets. It was another low-scoring game, and you saw that spread come into play, and unfortunately, it was a push in that situation.
Yeah.
The next game I'm looking at is Green Bay and Cincy. I'm pretty sure the spread was -3 on that one. I'm confident Green Bay is going to come and put points up. Aaron Rodgers seems to be getting back to his ways. He shook off that rust. He's getting more comfortable with his pieces that he's got around him. You're seeing that team more operate kind of what we expected to see. It just took a couple weeks to get there.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, yes, he's exciting for Cincinnati. They can put up points. But I don't see them keeping up with Aaron Rodgers, kind of like what we saw with Carolina and Dallas, where you might see some garbage time TDs come into play. And if it was a larger spread, maybe cause inconvenience there. But on a 3-point spread, like I believe it is, that's not the case. Yeah. If you think your team can outscore the other guys, usually something like a 3-point spread, you're not too worried about a number like that. And also, Green Bay is 3-1 against the spread. The season's still a little early, so it's hard to look at certain things like, against the spread, teams, how they're doing on the road versus at home. we're only 4 games into the season. You'll typically see a 2-2, a 3-1. Now, something to keep an eye on. The Los Angeles Rams are 4-0 against the spread this year so far. So if that is a team you like week to week, that may be something to keep an eye on.
Okay, real quick, we got a question from Grant Cracker, and I want to get his question in because he's been waiting patiently. He's not even a Ravens or a Panthers fan. He toughed through all that just for Derek to get on here. All right, he said he got money line parlay with Miami, Bills, and Colts. What are your thoughts?
Give me 1 second here. I want to look at the odds since I got stuff pulled up.
While you're looking at that, I'm going to respond to Tough Puppy here. It says, Derek needs to be here every show, I swear. No, Tough. You need to be here every show because Derek is here every show.
Yes, I come through. Let's be straight about that.
Come on, Tough. Get it together.
Yeah, I'm looking, and I don't know what the odds on the parlay would be if you were playing these games individually. I know Buffalo, that's a close spread, close odds there. The one game that's going to stand out that's really going to make that happen if you think Miami can get the upset in their game against Tampa Bay. Now, I think that's a long shot.
Yeah. I was being very kind.
If you're in the Discord, you did see that I went a little crazy earlier and dropped a 10-leg parlay. Miami was not one of those teams, for the record. Yeah, so I can't say that I'm on that one. But a couple of those other games, I did kind of like the way the odds looked and some of the stuff I saw there. Good luck to you, because if you pull that one off, I'm sure not too many people are on Miami to upset Tampa in a money line parlay, because that's what you're saying, is that these teams are going to win straight up. And so that's where you see those better odds of I saw the game at plus 400, it's plus 395, so basically the same thing. A lock of the week, it's kind of you look to target those teams that are playing well. A lot, you could go after someone like the Rams. Now a game I do like, which I got up next, is let's see, I believe it's a Sunday night game, Buffalo and KC. It's a close spread there. It's about, I believe, 2.5 points, 2 points, something like that, within that field goal range. Buffalo's going out here putting up points. You see them doing that week after week. You see their defense coming out week after week. You see KC putting up points, but you don't see that defense coming out and stopping anybody. So I think this is the week where, we see the lesser side of KC. They're 1-3 against the spread so far. And at the same time, if you want to look at like the team totals, they're 3-1 against the over. While on the flip side of that, Buffalo's 1-3 in over and unders, leaning more to the under, which does get a little surprising when you look at some of their past games. They probably covered in the Houston blowout. The week before that, I don't remember who they played, but it was another 30-point blowout. But because that defense shut them down and gave up less than 10 points, you still probably hit an under on that game, unless, I don't know, I doubt there was a sub 40-point total out there, and that's roughly about what you're looking at. And so on this, on this Buffalo game, I'm gonna be going with Buffalo. I believe they were getting, like I said, the spread was 2.5. I'll have to double check. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were the favorites in that game. So they have to win by 3. But I like that, like I said, with the struggles we've seen out of KC's defense so far this year.
Okay,
Then Indiana and Baltimore, they seem to be picking up things a little bit with their offense in Indianapolis. I'm not a big Carson Wentz fan, more so because of his injury-prone concerns and things like that. But when he's out there, he does seem to be able to play. He does have success in the Frank Reich systems that he's operated in.
Yeah.
I think that Baltimore is going to lean on their run game more. Some of the stuff I saw showed that Indianapolis, that's where you hurt them, is in the run game. So I could see a more ball control situation. Not necessarily a lower score, but when you get into that 7-point spread, I'm going to take Indianapolis and the points on that one. Just because, like I said, you get into that ball control type of game, something that you can see out of Harbaugh and that coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
You see a little bit of a lower score. That's 7 points. You get into more a late score makes it a 4 or 5 point game.
Right.
And then that brings us to the Monday night game on the week where we got, y'all were the Monday night game. That's right.
That's Monday. Yep.
And then for my last game, I like the Raiders going up against Chicago. I know there's a lot of excitement out there to see
Justin Fields season.
To see Justin Fields get out on the field. Well, we saw him get out there against one NFL defense, and we weren't sure he was going to go back out after a certain point. So we'll see what he can come out and do, maybe with a full game under his belt. I do like the Raiders and covering on the spread. I believe it's currently 5.5, and I just wanted to double check if that was the number I got it out. I thought the number opened at 4.5, and so that little bit of movement wouldn't surprise me. But I do not think that. No, yeah, I got it as 5.5 as well. Okay. I do not think that Chicago's offense is going to be putting up points. Their starting running back.
Montgomery. He's down for probably a month. They're saying, but avoided a season-ending injury, so that's great. But he's going to miss several weeks.
Yeah, and so I don't see that being a team that's going to be putting up a lot of points this week. The Raiders do have a at least decent and competent coaching staff, so I do see them trying to attack Justin Fields and putting the ball more so in his hands during the game. We've seen the explosive plays out of the Raiders. I think it was last week they burned me, so I'm going back to them this week. Chicago's 1-3 in the over-under department, which kind of shows that they're in those low-scoring games, and when they do score, it's not putting up many points. Off the top of my head, I can recall at least 2 games, I think, where they scored 17 points or less, I want to say.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
It's been ugly.
Yeah.
It's been ugly.
We're 4 games into the season, and, you already got 2 games where you're basically saying you only scored 3 times, and one of those wasn't a touchdown.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm gonna be on the Raiders in that game. Minus the 5.5. I do think they can win by a touchdown there. So those are my picks on the week.
Okay.
Was there any? If there
we
were
did
any
have
other
another
questions?
question from Raven Ron here. Which is an easier bet in your opinion in the NFL, point spread or over under?
I mean, really, it's probably more a preference thing, person to person, because when you start to try and get into the argument of easier, none of it's easy. Clearly, I'm out here not, doing my best and struggling a little bit, but it's an early season. You start to try and gather the information you can. In some instances, you may find a trend, or you may find something that you like with a certain team. If you've paid attention so far, I've been on with the Carolina Panthers. Clearly, I know that team,
Yeah.
So as far as the over-under versus a spread, the odds will typically be about the same. So I think for a lot of people, it's just going to come down to what you're more comfortable with or what you might have a better feel for. Because if you're better at playing, the game totals, do that.
Yeah.
That's the smart move. It's what you know better. Then there's nothing wrong with doing that.
All right. So there we go. You got Derek Weatherly with the lunch money bets. Okay, he's going to get you right this week. Don't be scared from last week. Don't worry about that. Graham Cracker wants to know what's the Discord link. Graham Cracker, we're gonna just hold on tight. We're gonna we'll give you that information in a second. You gotta sign up for Patreon, patreon.com/LBHT Show. That's how you get the Discord link. But we'll tell you all about that in 1 second. But Derek, man, I appreciate you. And if you want to see more Derek usually hangs out for our overtime show. That's another perk for being a member on Patreon. He usually hangs out with us on the overtime show, and he's always in the Discord. So that's another benefit to signing up. You can talk to him more about that. He's a degenerate gambler, just like the rest of you guys in there.
Yes,
okay?
And I hold it proud.
Yes,
like I said, I am. If you're in the Discord already, I'm doubling down on me this week. That's for sure. Maybe crazy, but hey, that's what you do. There are crazy things. Yes. And if you do end up getting on here and fading everything I say just because the opposite seems to be the right move, I'm not going to be mad. I'm here to help you. It's not about helping me. I'm here to help you. So, there are people out there that their system is, they can give you 10,000 reasons why Team A is the right move, and they're going to select Team B because in sports, we don't know what the hell is going to happen.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, sir.
All right, Derek, man. We'll catch you in a little bit, man.
All right, y'all take care.
All right.
All right. Yes. So, as Graham Cracker was asking, the Discord, yes, that is part of patreon.com/LBHT Show. We have 2 tiers. There's a $3 tier and a $10 tier. B, can you tell them real quick what you can get with those tiers?
So the $3 tier gets you an invite to the overtime show. That's what we do every week following the live show. It's a lot of fun. All the patrons are in there, and we just talk about anything and everything. It also gets you entrance into our Survivor League, which, you pick one team a week. If your team wins, you advance. If they lose, you're out. And the last person standing is going to get a trophy at the end of the season. We are both out, so whatever. But that trophy is going to go to somebody else this year.
That's the trophy right there.
We'll get it back next. We'll get it back next season. That's all right.
Yeah.
The $10 tier, it gets you an on-screen invite into the overtime show. So you can come on, you join the stream and chat with us. It gets you entrance into our yearly fantasy football league. And I did forget to bring the belt again. We do give away a custom championship belt for that league. We're going to kind of convert that into a dynasty league next year. So, that's a lot of fun. It also gets you the ability to request specific content, articles or videos on specific topics. If you're in that $10 tier, and we'll produce that for you. And both tiers will get you entrance into our Discord channel.
Yep. All right. So, that's one way that helps support the show. Also, right above B, like I mentioned before, $LBHT Show is another way that you can help support. We use that as a super chat. That in the link, the pinned link in the comments that you see, that's what we use as our super chats. You go there, you leave your donation, leave your comment, and we'll read it on air. Also, right below me, what you see on the screen there, that's for our merch. So if you like the stuff that we're wearing, it's got this new shirt. You like the beanie that B has. We have a lot more stuff on that our website. LBHTshow.com/shop. Or if you just go to LBHTshow.com, you also see articles from us, our audio podcast. We put this out in audio form, all kinds of good stuff on there.
Yeah, Derek is also writing weekly articles on the Panthers, kind of previewing and recapping the week's games. We did also get another anonymous Cash App a little bit ago. So thank you again. And he's asking, will Mr. Jackson, it says, have about passing touchdowns this year? I'm guessing you're asking how many passing touchdowns.
Yeah.
In terms of the touchdowns, it's been a slow start. I think it's going to pick up. And I'm going to say that when it's all said and done, Lamar Jackson has about 33 passing touchdowns this year.
Yeah. It's been a slow start, and a big chunk of that isn't his fault.
Yeah.
I think he's really going to pick up these next few games. Like during this 10-game win streak that I predict us to go on, man, yeah, I'm going to say 38. I'm going to say 38 passing touchdowns. Yep. Yeah, he's going to have a huge year.
I'm going a little bit lower just because I think that it's going to take Rashad Bateman a bit of time to get going. But once he gets going, the offense is going to take off.
But, his MVP year, I mean, that was Hollywood's rookie year, and Hollywood is playing much better now. So I don't think he needs Rashad Bateman to go off. I think Hollywood, a better Hollywood and, Sammy Watkins will get the job done.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying because we're already 4 games in. And he's kind of starting slow. I think they're going to catch fire once Rashad gets in there and gets rolling.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
We do have a question here from Adi.
What's
guys
up, Adi?
Watching Wilder versus Fury 3 this weekend? Who y'all got? Honestly, I think Wilder shocks everyone. Yeah, we'll be watching. Man, I would love to pick Wilder. I want Wilder to win, but I'm going Fury, and I'm taking him in a 9th round TKO, a stoppage. Not a knockout, but a referee stoppage.
Yeah. And also, so we're in the bonus time. You see the ticker. We're in bonus time. We'll be here for a few minutes, man. Put your questions in the chat. After that, if you want to hang out with us a little bit more on the overtime show, patreon.com/LBHT show. Go ahead and sign up. We do this every Wednesday right after the main show.
You say Lamar would have around 10 if his receivers could catch. All right. The running game like this leaves 38. All right, Danity.
Okay. But wait, you talking about total touchdowns or passing touchdowns? Because the question was about passing
touchdowns.
Yes.
Yeah, he's saying because the run game at least appears to be struggling a bit as long as they bench their best running back. So
yeah. Oh, and I'm picking Wilder, Adi. I'm picking Wilder reluctantly, man, because I do think Fury is a better boxer, but I don't know, man. I feel like Wilder might catch him. We'll see. I'm picking Wilder.
Jake P, what do you guys think about Jimmy Smith playing safety? Will he make a Rod Woodson-like transition? No. Honestly, I think that this is his last year in Baltimore. He's a free agent after this season. I don't think they're going to bring him back.
No, I think this is his last year playing.
He said he doesn't want to play anywhere but Baltimore.
And I believe him.
We'll see.
I believe him. Like he's been breaking down for the last few years. Let's be real about it.
I don't think that he's lying, but we'll see if he's ready to quit when Baltimore is ready to not have him back.
I think he is, man. I think he would have quit already if we had won a Super Bowl. I think he's just he doesn't want to quit before they have a chance to get another ring, and I think he's holding on. But one more year, I think this is it, and that he'll retire. Yeah, I agree, Andre. I think he's going to retire. Okay. Yep. JP agrees. Spooky J, what's up? He says, P.S. Hollywood has more yards than Galladay, who didn't want to play with Lamar. And instead, no, it wasn't about Lamar, man. It's about the money, and he still made the right decision.
Yes, he did.
like that money, that gets deposited in your bank account. It doesn't matter what your stats are. All right.
We did get another anonymous Cash App again. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The question: will Mr. Jackson win both MVPs this year? Are you saying Super Bowl and regular season? I picked him to win regular season MVP, and honestly, right now, I'm going to make the assumption that the O-line continues to get better. Because as they gel, they're going to get Ronnie Stanley back at some point. They're getting Tyree Phillips back. I think the O-line gets better. I think Rashad Bateman makes a big impact. He's going to have the best receiving core of his career, with Hollywood playing really, really well. Sammy Watkins being the first worthwhile vet addition. Rashad Bateman, Mark Andrews he's going to do what Mark Andrews can do. No, but there's some good talent around him now. And I think at this point, I am picking Baltimore to go to the Super Bowl, and I think he will win Super Bowl MVP if he gets there.
See, who says we be hating on here? Okay. All we do is pick this team to win. Okay. And you know what? I might have to change up too, because I did not pick them to go to the Super Bowl. You guys know that. I felt like Kansas City's going back. But, the season's going on. I don't like picking against my team. I really feel good about Lamar and how we're how he's looking. And I agree with B. I think we'll start to get healthier. Ronnie Stanley looks like he avoided another major injury. He'll be back at some point, healthy, right? And Nick Boyle will be back healthy. He's a big part of our blocking as well. So those two will help our blocking in general a lot more. And also,
yeah, Jason, you missed that portion of the show. We saw him.
Yeah. Hold on.
He had a nice game.
Hold on a second. And also, I think the Ravens are also going to make a move by trade deadline. I don't know what move, but it's going to be a splash. It's going to be a splash move, like Tomlin says. It's going to be a splash move. All right. I think we're going to make a splash move. We're going to make one more addition. And yes, league MVP. Me and B already predicted league MVP. And yes, I'm going to say Super Bowl MVP. And because I know you're wondering, like, what does that mean for a coaching staff? It means Harbaugh's probably going to stay, guys.
And
but
listen,
G-Row will be gone.
They win a Super Bowl, that's fine. And Andre,
yes, it is fine. Yes,
Andrew been balling the past 2 games. Listen, those type of games are not the issue with Andrews. You all know that. When you get into the playoffs, he gets the dropsies sometimes. He's a good player, but he be dropping passes sometimes, man.
Listen, I don't want to hear about the last 2 games, man. We paid him like a top 3 wide receiver. We can't be talking about
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Like we can't be talking about he had a good game here and there. We need to be talking about him like we should be arguing that he's the best in the league. That's what we should be doing. If you're a 49ers fan, you're arguing that Kittles is the best tight end in the league. If you're a 49ers fan or if you're a Kansas City fan, you're arguing that Kelsey's the best tight end in the league, right? If you're a Raiders fan, you're arguing that Waller is the best tight end in the league because they're playing that way. Nobody here is going to say that about Andrews, right? We're talking about, he looked good the last 2 games. Let's see if he can keep it going. No, we should know he's going to keep it going. We should know, like, hey, we got a guy here that's a beast, and we can argue that he's right up there with the other guys.
Man, this is exactly it. He is a front runner.
I'll say this though, but you know what though? I will say this: he's younger than the other ones. Maybe he turns into that.
Yeah, listen, those kind of drops are generally like concentration things or pressure things. That is absolutely something he can grow out of. Absolutely. And we certainly hope he does, right?
Yeah.
Because he is a very good player. I don't think he's in the same conversation with Waller and Kelsey and that, but he is a very good player. And if he gets those like those big time drops under control, if he kind of gets that out of his game, then it's a much smaller gap.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Le'Veon Bell looks like his 2016 form against Denver, 4 attempts for 11 yards, 2.2 average. Look, only 4 attempts. That's a small sample size. That's not enough. I mean, his next run could have been a 20-yarder or a 30-yarder, 50-yarder.
Yeah, it's funny, but he's got to get some more work, and he hasn't played in a while. Got to give him a chance, man. Got to give him a chance.
Yeah. Why is everyone saying Kyler better than Lamar? Because he has a better arm. Don't get me wrong. He playing like an MVP, but that's what you answered your question right there. He's playing really well right now.
Yeah, he's tearing it up. And man, Kyler has a different gear when it comes to getting in the open field and his speed. Like he's moving at a different speed than everybody else. It's crazy to watch.
Yeah.
No, I absolutely would not take Kyler Murray over Lamar. But that's not any shade against Kyler. Kyler's been playing great.
Yeah, but we live in the moment, right? And we react in the moment. Like that's how we are as sports fans, and we don't look at the whole picture. A lot of times, we just react to what's going on right now. And right now, he looks great. That's why I keep telling you guys, go watch some other games, man. Watch him play. You understand why people say that, Eric L says, "Will Mr. Darnold win or be a runner-up for MVP if the Panthers make it to the NFC Championship game this year?" I think he'll get comeback player of the year though.
Yeah, which is a fraudulent award. I cannot stand it.
I take it back. I take it back. It will be Dak.
No. Look, I could absolutely see him winning it over Dak. He shouldn't, But I could absolutely see that happening. He shouldn't even be in the running for comeback player of the year. He didn't come back from anything. He was just bad. I don't like that they give that to award to players who played the previous season. It's disgusting. It's like how, you see those old people get really angry about participation trophies. That's what this is for me. I hate it so much. You did not come back from anything.
It's a good job, good effort trophy.
Oh, I hate that so much. But no, I don't think he'll be in the running for MVP by the end of the season. But like as I said, I think he'll be in there for comeback player of the year.
Yeah. Agent E, what's up?
Just
man?
Speaking of Waller, did you guys see that terrible taunting? Yeah, we did.
Oh my god!
He caught the ball.
He spiked the ball towards no one.
Yeah.
Towards no one. Like he wasn't even looking at the player. He was, and you see him enough to know he gets hyped after a big catch. That's all it was.
As he should.
Yes, as he should. He spiked the ball and walked off. Didn't make any eye contact with anybody because he wasn't talking to anybody.
Right.
And they're like, oh, flag. They're like, flag. All right. That was terrible. That was a terrible call. I hate seeing that, man. Yeah. So sensitive. All right. AGE says, what up, fella? Oh,
sorry. Does Hollywood get over 1,000 yards since the addition of the 17th game? Yes. I'm going to say he gets over 1,000 yards before the 17th game.
Absolutely.
Agent E, what up, fellas? Do you guys think the Ravens need to trade for a wide receiver, DB, or pass rusher?
O-line, if you can.
Yeah, if they're going to make a trade, I would say O-line as well. I don't think that, I think they're going to be good at wide receiver. Hollywood's playing really well. Rashad Bateman's coming back. Sammy Watkins is playing pretty well. I think they'll be fine there. Duvernay and Prochet have been contributing as well when they get the opportunity. So I think they're good there. DB,
I think they're fine.
Carolina beat you to it, man.
yeah. If it was going to be Stephon Gilmore, I'd be like, all right, fine. But look, we're fine, man. Anthony Averett's playing well.
Yeah.
I mean, Marlon, it's been a little up and down, but it's Marlon Humphrey. You expect him to play better. I think the defensive unit as a whole is going to be just fine.
And at pass rusher as well, man. I think that, I could see them kind of wanting to do something there, always playing really well. We'll see if Bowser can keep it going. I don't expect him to, but I think as a group, they're okay. But if a good pass rusher does become available, I could see them making a move there.
Yeah, I hope they don't do that, man. Like if they're going to put any effort into making any trade, man, I want it to be O-line. I do think they are going to make a trade. I hope it's at. I mean, look, O-line is just hard to get, right? Like nobody wants to give a good O-lineman, but I hope they can figure out something, right? There's a rumor going around. Shout out to Panthers Nation podcast. Rashad, it didn't come from Rashad. Rashad was he got it from somebody else in the chat. But the rumor is that they could be looking to package Dante Jackson and something else for O-lineman to try to get Darnold some help. So if that's true, I have to give Federer some credit, man, because even though I don't like the Darnold move, putting all your faith in Darnold, like you're clearly making moves like he is your guy, and you are trying to win now. But if that's true, man, the Ravens need to swoop in and figure out who the O-lineman is that's available and get him.
Says I agree with what you're saying, but I asked that question because it's not smart for the Ravens to sign anybody else to the team. Yeah, I think they're good for right now. Like you said, if they can get a really good O-lineman, then you make a move. But other than that, I think you let the team get healthy, let the team gel, and they'll be good to go.
Yeah.
Just Al says the ref flagged Waller for unforgivable blackness. Oh man.
For I fear for my life.
Agent E, you are absolutely right. Yeah, but hey, you could have called up and offered a fifth.
Yeah. Quan wants to know. He said, "Oh yeah, y'all see Matt Judon has 4.5 sacks already in New England." Yeah. Yes,
he's a good player, man.
And again, man, like I don't like doing this comparison, man. But it comes up in talks. But when you're comparing him to Owe, and people are like Owe's already better than Judon. Go watch other games. That's all I ask you guys. Just go because you say that only because you haven't watched New England play, right? You haven't actually watched him play. If you put on a tape and you watch him play, he looks like a beast. And it's not surprising at all because Judon's a better player. He's a better he's a better all around player. Thank you. Will be better than that. He has potential. Obviously, he's way more athletic, right? But who's a better player right now is Judon. There's no question about it. And if you have any doubts about that, watch a Patriots game and see what he does out there.
Yeah. Will Sam Darnold get more passing yards than Lamar this year? Assuming they both stay healthy, yes.
Yeah.
Lamar, a big chunk of his production comes on the ground. And that's, I mean, Sam runs as well. I don't want to take that away from him. But Sam's averaging right around 300 yards a game right now. And the Ravens just don't pass the ball like that at this point.
No.
So I think, he'll have a good sized lead on Lamar in passing yards.
Okay. Yeah, man. And we'll see about Darnold, man. I still think you guys should be looking to upgrade from Darnold, but he and it wouldn't surprise me if he's up there close to 5,000 yards. And if that happens, Judon did look dominant. But if that happens for Darnold, man, you could be re-signing him. Yeah,
thanks for bringing us. Thanks for bringing us down at the end of the show.
Danity 101, what's up, man? I see you commenting in there, man. He said, "Is it Wink's fault that Judon is not being successful with the Ravens?"
Judon was very successful in Baltimore, man. Like he had a good run in Baltimore.
He did. Did he make the Pro Bowl last year? He was a Pro Bowler.
I'm not sure if it was last.
What he's talking about are the sacks, and yes, that is Wink's fault because you're not going to see too many guys get double-digit sacks in this defense, right? I mean, with the extra game added, there's a better shot at it, but we blitz way too much for that to happen. I'm sorry, Danity. My bad. I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
Look at you, man. Look at you.
She said, unsubscribed, sir. No. I appreciate you coming through. Tell your friends to come through too, man. We need more women in the chat to
why are you assuming all our friends are women? What is wrong with you?
Tell your women friends to come through, okay? Jesus.
All right. Attitude 5. If Tyler Huntley goes to the Broncos, they would be playoff contenders. No, man. Tyler's not good like that.
He's not better than Teddy.
Nah.
No.
I think he's got a nice future ahead of him right now. No. They've got the right guy right now.
Yeah. Could Ravens get Jalen Smith? I'm going to refer you back to what I said a couple of minutes ago when I say watch other teams play. and I know Caleb's not here. If Caleb was here, he would say in all caps, no.
Right.
No.
And it looks like I don't know if it's actually happened yet, but it looks like he's going to the Packers.
Packers? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Look, I mean, I don't want to say he can't play, but definitely he can't play here. Right, the way you guys crush Patrick Queen, there he is. There's Caleb. There's our guy. He said no.
What's up, Caleb?
You would if the issues that you have with Patrick Queen, 10 times that with Jalen Smith. Okay, so no, that's not the move to make. All right, couple more questions and we'll get out of here. Derek,
says, is player prop the season total sacks for Brian Burns over 9.5? He's gonna crush that.
I think that's an easy one. Yeah, that's an easy one. I still got him in the running for defensive MVP. I don't care.
He's got to catch Hassan Reddick first. Brian is at 3 sacks. Reddick is at 4.5 right now.
You know, it's crazy. I'm not even sure if he's even had a sack since week 1, but they also have to catch.
He hasn't. He's still at 5. Chandler Jones. Yeah.
Yo, it's so ridiculous. all he needs is 2 more games, and he's gonna win defensive player of the year.
I googled this just for you, Jason. His real name is Theodore Edmund Bridgewater.
Yeah.
Jr.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
And you will put some respect on it. Okay.
That's right. I wouldn't even go by Teddy. I'd be like, you have to call me Theodore Edmund Bridgewater Jr. Man, you got to say the whole thing.
They should put Big Ben on the unemployment line. They should not. We said this, I think it was last week or maybe one of the other videos. If somebody comes to you and they say, please take away 80% of my salary, just let me stay? The answer is no.
Yeah.
You do not do it. All right. He's out there stumbling around in the backfield. He can't roll out. He can't throw the ball. He can't, like, it's awful, man. They need to cut him. They need to get Haskins in there or Mason Rudolph. Call Cam. Do something.
Did you hear
not run Ben Roethlisberger out there anymore?
Yo, did you hear I think it was Adam Schefter tweeted out today that Thomas said he hurt his hip. You didn't see that?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh.
Did any of you guys see that?
I don't think it's funny when players get hurt, but that's an old man injury, right? You
hurt
your hip.
No. What it is it's a lie. It's a lie. He's not hurt. So now on Wednesday he hurt his hip. What was he doing between Sunday and Wednesday where he hurt his hip? I'll tell you what happened. We talked about this in the overtime show. It is time for Tomlin to say, "Hey, look, the Steelers." I fully believe Tomlin wanted him to go a while ago, and the Steelers organization said, "No, that's your quarterback." But it's time for Tomlin. Tomlin is a Super Bowl champion. He's been to the Super Bowl twice. He's never had a losing season. He has more than enough pull to say, you're not starting anymore. You're relegated to the bench. And I think that's what happened, and they just playing it as an injury. Yes, she said she heard it.
And go out gracefully.
I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Right. I think Thomas said you're gonna do what you
struggling to walk center to the retirement center.
Jeez. Man.
Yeah, no, it's ugly over there, man. Like I said, they're coming to a decision very soon whether or not they like and respect Ben Roethlisberger so much that they're going to throw away this season.
And Tony Hendo says they're trying to Joe Flacco Ben. No, they're not, because with you're talking about with the injury, the fake injury. Yeah. But as soon as Lamar got in there, Harbaugh didn't even lie about it. He was just like, yeah, so Flacco's going to be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see Juju throwing the iPad? Yep.
Like Peter Griffin.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah.
Right.
He's frustrated, man. I get it. Okay. All right. That is it. If you want to hang out some more, we're going to head over to the Overtime Show. You can go right above me, patreon.com/LBHT Show. All right. We're going to get started here in a few minutes for our patrons. Give me a few minutes to set up. And Malo 226 coming in at the end said, Big Ben, time is up. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Did we hear about Urban Meyer? Yes, we did. We're going to talk about that in the Overtime Show. You want to? Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have a lot to. Look, for you guys who don't know, Overtime Show, we talk about anything and everything. It don't even have to be sports, whatever you want. But we're going to talk about that. Ben is going out gracefully. That ship has sailed.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. All right. All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging out with us on a Wednesday. We will be back here maybe Saturday for the Wilder Fury fight. If not, we'll definitely be here Sunday, do some post-game reactions to the Panthers, and then Monday night for the Ravens. All right. So
you can hear that topic right there at patreon.com/LBHT Show.
You got $3. Look, that's 2 Snickers bars. All right. I know, because I'm addicted to chocolate. Okay. All right, y'all. Patrons, we'll see you in a few minutes. Everybody else, y'all have a good night. Peace out.